Guan is that guy. Today I'm giving you a little update on the back of my head, the nape area of my locks I had cut off about 6 or 7 or 8 months ago. I'm not really sure exactly when it happened, but I decided to let this form freely after they were so long before and kind of irritating me at that super length they were at. So my hair type is like a 3C, maybe a type 4, but it does take a while for it to lock together, whether I'm twisting or free-forming. And right now I can see that the curls are definitely starting to shrink in, and I feel like it's taking a lot longer to lock up than when I had free-formed my head in entirety, mainly because I'm not washing the back of my head as often as I washed my new freeform locks. When you're growing new freeform locks in, you typically want to wash your hair 1 time a week with residue-free shampoo, finishing off with a cold water rinse, where the cold water really helps to form the tighter curls, the tighter locking, and the matting enhancements of your hair. So right now I'm basically washing this area, roughly every 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks at this moment. So I feel like because it's not getting hit with that cold water rinse, it's not locking up as quick, but it's fine because I have a lot of patience and time on my hands, and I'm looking forward to see how this patch of new growth comes together in a lock, regardless of how often I'm washing in this area. It's just taking a little bit longer. I do hope that it does come in as one big natty flatty ratty tail. I think it's gonna be quite amazing if it's one big plait back there, just like a super long, super thick and flat lock. Or it might become 2 flat locks or 4. I can never really tell. So this is the hair now flipped back. And the gray hairs are starting to come in. They are starting to become salt and pepper. Personally, I think it's a great advancement and milestone in the lock journey. And I also cannot wait until my locks are completely white in the future, showing those real elder lock stages. Now I'm typically pretty happy with the shape and the current thickness of how my locks have been coming in. Even the amount of frizzy hair has been quite the challenging aspect of this journey, which I'm learning to embrace at its maximum potential. Now it's fascinating seeing the tips of my dreads. One of them on the left is a little bit blunted, while the other ones are just left pretty freely after I trim them, and they don't tend to want to blunt up on their own at all. It's kind of left open-ended at the moment. And the fun part about the open-ended tips is that the curl pattern is really showing my natural hair there. Now with my hair flipped forward, you can clearly see that the locks on my nape of my neck are shorter than the ones in the front. This just seems to be the way it is. I guess I didn't take that into account when I had trimmed them earlier in the year. Although I don't really feel that dreadlocks should all be the same length regardless. Now this side perspective, we notice the flattest locks in my whole entirety of the journey are happening right down by the bottom of my neck, side of my head. This area always tends to progress and create the thickest locks. Now on the opposite side, they didn't really thicken up as identical. So it's interesting how the whole head creates different shapes in the long form. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this update, and I'll see you next time. One love.